The lunchbox hit the floor with a sound that would echo in Chidi's mind forever. Rice scattered across expensive marble. Chicken pieces rolled toward Italian leather shoes. But it wasn't the wasted food that broke him, it was seeing his wife in another man's arms, her lips pressed against her boss's mouth, her wedding ring nowhere to be found. They say a good woman is a crown to her husband. They say love conquers all. But nobody told Chidi Okafor that the woman he woke up at 5 every morning to cook for, the woman he gave his last penny to make happy, would look him in the eyes and say, "You were never enough for me." This is a story that will make you angry, make you cry, and make you believe that sometimes God lets everything fall apart so something better can fall into place. Before we begin this journey that will change how you see love forever, don't forget to subscribe to Folktales by Amora and turn on that notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what happens when a poor mechanic finds $15,000 on the roadside. Now, let me take you to that morning. That terrible morning when Chidi should have seen it coming. 5:15 a.m. Surulere, Lagos. Chidi's eyes opened to the sound of nothing. Silence. The kind of silence that screams louder than words. He turned to look at Adiz, his wife of 3 years. Her back faced him. Again. For 3 months now, she'd been sleeping like that, turned away, building walls with her body that her heart had already constructed. "Ada M," he whispered. "My daughter. Are you awake?" "Nothing." He got up quietly, his bare feet touching the cold floor of their one-room apartment. In the corner they called the kitchen, he started preparing her favorite, yam and egg sauce. His hands moved with love, cutting, stirring, seasoning. The oil sizzled. The aroma filled the room. "Chidi." Her voice cut through the morning like a blade. "Why are you making so much noise?" "Sorry, my love. I'm making your... I don't want it." She walked past him, designer perfume trailing. Perfume that cost more than his weekly salary. "They have real food at my office. Not this village nonsense." Village nonsense. The words hung in the air like smoke. His friend Emika's warning from yesterday echoed, "Brothers, that your wife don't change. Since she start that Victoria Island job, she don't dey look you like say you be houseboy." But Chidi had defended her. "She's just stressed," it said. Now, watching her apply makeup worth his monthly salary, he wondered, was stress really the problem? By noon, Chidi couldn't shake the feeling eating at his chest. Adiz had left without saying goodbye. Without taking the breakfast. Without even looking at him. But then, an idea struck him. Maybe she needed reminding. Reminding of the woman who once said, "I don't care if we eat beans every day, as long as we eat together." The woman who kissed his oil-stained fingers and called them hands of blessing. "I'll surprise her," he told himself. Bring her lunch. Her favorite lunch. He counted the money in his pocket. 4,000 naira. His transport money for the entire week. His lunch money. His emergency money. But love doesn't count cost, does it? At Mama Koro's restaurant, he spent it all. Jollof rice, the expensive type with plenty meat. Fried chicken, golden brown. Plantain, perfectly soft. He watched Mama Koro pack it carefully. "Your wife go happy well, Mama Koro smiled. "I hope so," Chidi replied, though something in his stomach twisted. The journey to Victoria Island took 90 minutes. 2 buses. His shirt soaked with sweat. People stared at him, this mechanic in his work clothes, holding a food package like treasure, heading to the land of suits and ties. Blue Wave Communications Tower touched the sky. Glass and steel and money. The security guard looked him up and down. You're here for who?" "My wife. Mrs. Adiz Okafor. Sales department." The guard's eyebrows shot up. He made a phone call, laughed about something Chidi couldn't hear, then waved him through. 7th floor. Good luck. Good luck. Why would he need luck to see his own wife? The elevator rose. His heartbeat rose faster. Something was wrong. He could feel it. The 7th floor smelled like money. Like success. Like everything Chidi wasn't. I'm here for Addis Okafor, he told the receptionist, a young woman with nails so long she typed with her knuckles. And you are? Her husband. The look on her face, pity mixed with something else. Like she knew a secret. Like everyone knew except him. She's in Mr. Dubon's office. Last door down that hall. But maybe you should. Chidi was already walking. His footsteps echoed. Each step felt heavier than the last. He could hear voices behind the door. Laughter. Addis' laughter, the one she used to save for him. The one that made him feel like a king even in their one-room apartment. He raised his hand to knock. Then stopped. You're so bad, Addis' voice purred. What if someone sees us? Let them see, a man's voice responded. Deep. Confident. I own this place. You're mine now. Chidi's hand pushed the door open. Time stopped. Addis sat on the edge of a mahogany desk. A tall man in a suit that probably cost more than Chidi made in a year stood between her legs. His hand on her waist. Her arms around his neck. And then, as if the universe wanted to make sure Chidi saw it, the man leaned down and kissed her. Not a friendly kiss. Not a mistake. A deep, familiar kiss that said they'd done this before. Many times before. The lunchbox slipped from Chidi's hands. Crash. Rice scattered. Chicken rolled. Sauce splashed across Italian leather shoes. Addis' head snapped around. Her eyes went wide. But not with shame. With anger. Chidi. What are you doing here? He couldn't speak. His mouth moved but no words came. Finally, I brought you lunch. Lunch. She jumped off the desk, her face twisting. You came to my office like this. Looking like a mechanic. I am a mechanic, Chidi whispered. Your husband. Remember? The man, Dubon, chuckled. Actually chuckled. Like this was entertainment. Brother man, calm down. You're making a scene. Making a scene. Chidi's voice cracked. You're kissing my wife? Your wife. Dubon sat in his leather chair, completely relaxed. Seems to me she's made her choice. And it's not you. Addis stepped forward, her eyes cold as ice. Chidi, you need to leave. Now. Leave. Tears burned his eyes. Addis, we took vows. Before God. Before our families. You said. I said a lot of things. She exploded. Before I knew better. Before I realized I was wasting my life with a man who thinks love is enough. Look at you. Look at yourself. Oil under your nails. Cheap clothes. You brought me food in a takeaway pack like I'm some roadside girlfriend. I spent my transport money, he said quietly. My last money. To buy your favorite. I don't want your sacrifice. Her voice echoed. I want a life. I want to travel. I want to shop without counting coins. Dubon can give me that. What can you give me? Poverty. The word hit like a slap. I give you my heart, Chidi said. My loyalty. My prayers. Your prayers. She laughed. Bitter. Cruel. Pray yourself out of poverty first, then come talk to me. Dubon stood, put his arm around Addis. Possessive. Claiming. I think you should go now, my friend. Your wife, sorry, my woman, has work to do. Chidi looked at Addis one last time. Searching for the girl who married him in a borrowed dress. Who cried happy tears when he bought her first Valentine's gift, a single rose. That girl was dead. I hope he gives you everything you want, Chidi said softly. And I hope one day, when you have it all, you remember what you lost. He walked out, leaving the spilled food on the floor. Behind him, Addis' voice, finally. I thought he'd never leave. 3 days. 3 days of silence. 3 days of an empty bed. 3 days of Chidi staring at his phone, waiting for a call that never came. On the 4th day, walking home from work, he almost missed it. A black leather envelope, sitting by the gutter like forgotten trash. But something made him stop. Made him pick it up. His hands shook as he opened it. Money. Dollars. Thousands of dollars. 15,000, to be exact. More money than he'd seen in his entire life. And a business card, Chief Obi Nwosu, CEO, Nwosu Logistics. For a moment, just a moment, a voice whispered in his head, this is God's compensation. Take it. Win Addis back. Show her you can provide. But his mother's voice, stronger, clearer, what you didn't work for will never last, my son. God, he prayed, holding the envelope. I know you see me. I know you see my pain. But I won't steal. Even if it means losing everything. When he got home, Addis was there. Finally. But she wasn't unpacking. She was packing. Her eyes landed on the envelope in his hands. What's that? I found it. $15,000 and dollars. Her eyes went wild. Give it to me. Now. Addis, it's not mine. There's a card. I'll return it tomorrow. Return it. She lunged for the envelope. Are you insane? This is our breakthrough. This is what we've been praying for. You haven't prayed in months, Chidi said quietly, holding the envelope away. And we can't keep what isn't ours. Oh my God. She screamed. I married a fool. An absolute fool. Any other man would see this as blessing. But you want to return it. For what? So you can remain poor and holy. Better poor with clean hands than rich with a dirty heart. She slapped him. Hard. The sound echoed in their small room. You know what? I'm done. Done with your righteousness. Done with your poverty. Done with you. She grabbed her bags. Dubom already got me an apartment. A real apartment. With air conditioning. And a kitchen that doesn't smell like suffering. So you're leaving me for him. I already left you, Chidi. The day I realized you die exactly how you are now, poor, proud, and pathetic. She walked to the door, stopped, turned back. You could have kept that money. Could have fought for me. But you're too weak even for that. Keeping that money wouldn't make me strong, Chidi said. It would make me a thief. Like him. Like Dubom. Is that what you want? A thief? She laughed. I want a man. Not a boy who thinks goodness pays bills. The door slammed. On the table, she'd left a note, don't look for me. My family will return your bride price. You're free to find a woman who appreciates your goodness. Maybe she can eat it when there's no food. Chidi fell to his knees, the envelope still in his hands. $15,000. The price of his marriage. Or the test of his character. Tomorrow, he would return it. Tonight, he would cry. The next morning, Chidi stood outside Nwosu Logistics, the envelope heavy in his pocket. The building wasn't as fancy as Blue Wave, but it had something different. Warmth. I'm here to see Chief Obi Nwosu, he told the receptionist, a young woman with kind eyes and a gentle smile. Do you have an appointment? No, but I have something that belongs to him. She studied his face. Wait here. Minutes later, she returned. He'll see you. Third floor. Chief Obi's office smelled like old books and wisdom. The man himself, late 50s, grey beard, eyes that seemed to see through you, stood as Chidi entered. You have something of mine. Chidi placed the envelope on the desk. Found it yesterday. Everything's there. $15,000. Chief Obi opened it, counted, then looked up sharply. You could have kept this. Nobody would have known. I would have known. God would have known. Your wife. What did she say? The question hit unexpectedly. She left me because I wouldn't keep it. Chief Obi walked around the desk, studied Chidi's face. She left you for doing the right thing. She left me for being poor, sir. This just confirmed it. Son, let me tell you something. Chief Obi's voice was gentle. Any woman who leaves you for refusing to steal was never yours. She was just visiting. He tried to give Chidi reward money. Chidi refused. I didn't do it for reward, sir. Then you're exactly the kind of man this world needs more of. Chidi left with nothing but a clear conscience. He didn't notice the receptionist watching him with unusual interest. Didn't see her follow him with her eyes. That night, he called Adi's mother. Mama, please. Do you know where she is? The woman's laugh was cruel. You're asking me. After boring my daughter to death with your poverty. Mama, I'm her husband. Not anymore. We are returning your useless bride price next week. 20,000 naira, that's all you could afford. Shameful. My daughter deserves better. I loved her. Love. She hissed. Can love buy Brazilian hair? Can love pay for Dubai vacation? You're a failure, Chidi. Accept it. The line went dead. 7 days passed. Chidi stopped eating. Stopped bathing. Stopped answering Emeka's calls. The room smelled like grief. The walls felt like they were closing in. On the 8th night, he wrote a letter. God, I tried. I really tried. But good people don't win. They just get stepped on. I'm tired of being stepped on. Forgive me. He was reaching for the rope when the knock came. Soft. Persistent. Chidi. Chidi Okafor. Please open. It's Amora. From Chief Obi's office. He didn't answer. I know you're in there. And I know what you're thinking. Please. Just give me 5 minutes. Something in her voice, not pity, but understanding, made him open the door. She saw the rope. Saw the letter. Without a word, she walked in, took the rope, and threw it out the window. Your story isn't ending tonight, she said firmly. How would you know? His voice was dead. Because my boss sent me. He's been watching you, Chidi. He has an offer. A job offer. 600,000 naira monthly. Chidi laughed. Bitter. Empty. Another test. Haven't I been tested enough? Not a test. She sat beside him. Not too close, but close enough. A reward. For being the only honest man he's met in years. I don't want rewards. I want my wife back. No, Amora said gently. You want the woman you thought she was back. That woman never existed. The truth of it broke him. He cried. Deep, ugly sobs. Amora didn't move. Didn't speak. Just sat there, a lighthouse in his storm. Finally, why do you care if I live or die? She smiled sadly. Because I know what it's like to lose everything. And I know what it's like when someone shows up just in time. Come tomorrow. Hear the offer. If you still want to die after that, at least you die having tried everything. She left her number. Call me. Anytime. Even at 3 a.m. Promise me. I promise, he whispered. That night, for the first time in 8 days, Chidi slept. 600,000 naira. Chidi repeated, sure he'd heard wrong. Chief Obi smiled. Monthly. Plus benefits. Plus a company car after 6 months. Plus accommodation assistance. But, why? Because integrity is rare. And when I find it, I invest in it. Chief Obi leaned forward. I built this company from nothing. Started as a driver. Now I have 70 vehicles. But lately, I can't find honest managers. They all steal. Inflate invoices. Take bribes. Then you walked in. Returned $15,000 when your wife had just left you for being poor. Sir, I don't know what to say. Say yes. Chidi's tears came without warning. Yes. Yes, sir. Thank you. God bless you. He already has, Chief Obi smiled. Start Monday. That first week changed everything. Chidi threw himself into work. Arrived first, left last. The drivers respected him immediately. He spoke their language, understood their struggles. And Amora. She became his anchor. She'd bring him lunch when he forgot to eat. He'd fix her car when it broke down. She'd make him laugh with her stories. He'd walk her to the bus stop after work. You're different, she told him one evening. Most men see kindness as weakness. Most men haven't lost everything, he replied. 3 weeks in, Amora arrived at work crying. What happened? My landlord. He wants me to be his 5th wife. I refused. Now he says I have 1 week to leave. 5th wife. That man has no shame. He owns half the buildings in that area. Nobody will rent to me if he blacklists me. Chidi's jaw clenched. Where is he now? Chidi, no. Don't. But he was already walking. He found the landlord, fat, arrogant, gold teeth, at his shop. You're harassing Amara. The man laughed. And you are? Someone telling you to stop. Or what? Or I'll make sure every church, every mosque, every market woman knows what kind of man you are. Your wives will know about each other. Your customers will know about your character. The landlord's face darkened. You're threatening me. I'm promising you. Leave her alone. That evening, Amara was quiet. Then, nobody's ever stood up for me like that. Nobody's ever saved my life like you did. She looked at him. Really looked at him. I have a spare room in my flat. It's small, but if you need somewhere better than that 1 room. I couldn't. Chief Obi gave you accommodation assistance, right? Pay me half what you're paying now. We both win. Chidi hesitated. Then nodded. Neither of them knew Chief Obi was watching from his window, smiling. While Chidi was finding peace, Adiz was discovering that all that glitters isn't gold. Sometimes, it's just broken glass that cuts. Her new apartment in Ikoyi was everything she'd dreamed of. White leather sofas. Marble floors. City views. But Dubom only visited twice a week. Sometimes once. Sometimes not at all. Baby, she called him one evening. When are you leaving your wife? His laugh was cold. Leaving my wife? Which wife? You said. I said what you wanted to hear, Adiz. Just like I tell all of them. All of who? Come on. You didn't think you were special, did you? You're Tuesday and Thursday. Bimp is Monday and Wednesday. Fun gets weekends. The room spun. You're lying. Check my phone if you want. Oh wait, You can't. Because you're not my wife. You're just another investment. Investment. I invest in beauty. You age out, I trade up. Simple business. How can you be so cruel? Cruel. He stood, straightening his tie. You left your husband for money. I'm giving you money. What's cruel about getting what you wanted? I'm pregnant, she blurted out. Dubom froze. Then laughed. Not mine. It is yours. I haven't been with anyone else since. Prove it. Dubom, please. Even if it is mine, so what? My wife has 3 kids. You think I need a 4th? That's when Adi's phone rang. Unknown number. Mrs. Dubom Okoli, the voice asked. No, I'm the real Mrs. Okoli, another voice cut in. And you're fired. Both of you. The line went dead. Next morning, security guards were at both their offices. Dubom's wife had found everything, messages, photos, receipts. Her father, who owned 60% of Blue Wave, was furious. Pack your things, the head of HR told Adis. You have 10 minutes. But I didn't know he was married. Everyone in the office laughed. Everyone knew. Dubom didn't even look at her as security escorted them out. He got into his car, which was being repossessed while they watched, and said 4 words, "You're on your own." The apartment. Paid for by the company. She had 3 days to leave. The clothes. Bought with his company credit card. Being collected. The pregnancy. Growing inside her, unwanted by its father. He called Chidi. Blocked. Called his friend Emeka. He laughed and hung up. Finally, she called her mother. Mama, I need to come home. With whose pregnancy? Please. You left a good man for this? Don't come here. You made your bed. Lie in it. 6 months passed like a dream Chidi never wanted to wake from. He'd been promoted twice. Now operations manager, managing 50 staff, earning more than he'd ever imagined. Chief Obi treated him like a son, inviting him for dinner, seeking his opinion, trusting him with everything. And Amora. She'd become his sunrise. Every morning, she'd make his coffee just right, no sugar, small milk. He'd leave notes on her desk, "Your smile saved me today." She'd blush, pretend not to care, but keep every note in a small box. They weren't dating. Not officially. But everyone knew. Just marry her already, Emeka teased. Before someone smarter sees what you're too scared to claim. One evening, Amora's phone rang during dinner. Her father. She'd mentioned him before, sick, in the hospital, recovery slow. Papa wants to meet you, she said after hanging up. Me? Why? I talk about you. A lot. She looked down. Maybe too much. The hospital smelled like disinfectant and hope. Room 501 was at the end of a long corridor. Amora knocked softly. Come in. Chidi entered first, then froze. In the bed, connected to monitors but smiling widely, was Chief Obi. Chief. Hello, son. Chidi turned to Amora, confusion written everywhere. You're his daughter, she said softly. I'm sorry I didn't tell you. I wanted you to know me as Amora. Not as the boss's daughter. But you struggle. Your salary. Your landlord problems. Chief Obi coughed gently. I taught her to stand on her own feet. Make her own money. Build her own character. The landlord situation. I didn't know until you handled it. So everything, the job, was it because? No. Chief Obi's voice was firm. The job was because you returned that money. Meeting Amora. That was God. Her loving you. That's your character. Me approving. That's my blessing. Amora took Chidi's hand. I fell for you before you knew who my father was. When you were broken. When you had nothing. When you protected me from that landlord you didn't know. When you fixed my car, brought me flowers from the roadside seller, made me laugh with your terrible jokes you didn't know. But the wallet, sending you to check on me. Chief Obi smiled. I sent her to save your life. She chose to stay in it. Everything else. That's both of you. Chidi sat down heavily. I need a moment. Take all the time you need, Chief Obi said. But not too much. I want to see my grandchildren before I die. Papa. Amara gasped. They all laughed. But Chidi's mind was spinning. From losing everything to gaining more than he dreamed. Was this real? Amora squeezed his hand. I'm still me. The woman who brings you lunch. Who laughs at your jokes. Who saved my life, Chidi finished. And became my reason to keep living. 3 months later, Chidi stood at an altar, wearing a white suit that cost more than his old car. Next to him, Amora glowed, a queen in every sense. In the front row, Chief Obi sat in his wheelchair, tears streaming down his face. When I lost my wife, he said during his speech, I thought my joy was over. Then God sent this mechanic to return my wallet. And I knew this was the son I never had. Emeka, the best man, grabbed the mic. I told you, Chidi. I told you that other woman was bad market. See what happens when you listen to your friend. From Suralere to Lekki. From one room to a mansion. God is good. The crowd roared. The reception was a dream. Music, food, laughter. Chidi had never felt so much joy. He was dancing with Amora when he saw it. A disturbance at the gate. A woman, thin and frail, begging the guards to let her in. It was Adi's mother. Chidi's heart stopped. Amora squeezed his hand. Do you want me to handle it? No, he said. I have to. He met her at the gate, away from the party. Chidi, my son, she began, weeping. Please, forgive my daughter. She made a mistake. A terrible mistake. She's suffering. The man left her. She's learned her lesson. Mama, this is my wedding day. I know. But she needs you. She's outside. She wants to talk to you. From the shadows, Adi stepped out. 8 months pregnant. Her clothes were worn, her eyes haunted. All the pride, all the arrogance, gone. Replaced by a desperation that made Chidi's stomach turn. Chidi, she whispered, falling to her knees. I'm sorry. I was foolish. Blind. I chose shiny things over a golden heart. Please. I have nothing. No one. Take me back. I'll be your house girl. I'll wash your feet. Anything. Just, don't leave me like this. The music from the reception felt a world away. Chidi looked at the woman who had destroyed him. The woman who had laughed at his poverty. The woman who had chosen another man. He bent down, but not to lift her up. Adiz, he said softly, I forgave you a long time ago. But forgiveness is for me. Not for you to come back. You made your choice. And I made mine. He pointed to the reception hall, where Amora was watching, her face full of trust. That is my wife? The woman who loved me when I was broken. Who saw a king in a mechanic. I pray you find peace. But your road and my road have parted. Forever. He turned to walk away. You regret this, her mother screamed. No, Chidi said, without looking back. I already had my regret. And God turned it into my biggest blessing. As he walked back to his wife, he heard a cry. Addis had collapsed. Her labor pains had begun. Amora ran to him. Should we? I'll call an ambulance, Chidi said, his voice firm. But we are not going with her. He held Amora's face in his hands. That chapter is closed. And for the first time, he truly believed it. 1 year later, Nwosokofo Logistics was the fastest growing logistics company in West Africa. Chidi Okafor, the former mechanic, was its CEO. Chief Obi had passed away peacefully 6 months after the wedding, leaving 40% of the company to his son. But Chidi's greatest treasures weren't in the boardroom. They were in the nursery. Twin boys, Namdi and Obina. One sunny afternoon, Chidi was leaving a supermarket in Ikoyi, his arms full of baby food and diapers. His driver opened the door to the Range Rover. As Chidi was about to step in, a voice stopped him. Spare change, sir. Please. For my baby. He turned. And saw her. Addis. Sitting on the pavement, a baby strapped to her back. Her hair was unkempt, her clothes patched. The once flawless skin was now scarred by hardship. She looked up, her eyes met his, and she froze. Shame washed over her face. Then tears. Chidi. He stood there, a king in a fine suit, looking down at the woman who had once been his world. Addis, he said quietly. What happened to you? He left, she whispered, her voice hoarse. As soon as the baby was born. He said the baby looks like you. Chidi's face didn't change. I'm sorry, she cried. I'm so sorry. I should have stayed. I should have waited. That life, your life, that should have been me. She said it again, a broken mantra, that should have been me. I made a mistake, Chidi. One mistake. And I'm paying for it every day. He opened his wallet, took out a stack of Naira notes, more money than she'd probably seen in a year, and placed it in her hand. Take this. Get a room. Feed your child. But don't ever think this is because of our past. This is because no child deserves to suffer for a parent's mistake. So you've really moved on. The car door opened. Amora stepped out, beautiful, elegant, holding one of the twins. The other twin was with the nanny in the back seat. Addis' eyes widened. Twins. Boys, Chidi said. Our boys. The final blow. The one from which she would never recover. Oh, God, she sobbed, sinking to the ground. That should have been me. Life gives us choices, Addis, Chidi said, his voice gentle but final. And we become the sum of those choices. I wish you peace. But I pray I never see you again. He got into the car. As it pulled away, he looked in the rearview mirror one last time. Addis, on the dirty pavement, holding his money, her face buried in her hands, her body shaking with a regret so profound it would haunt her for the rest of her days. Chidi didn't look back again. He looked at his wife. At his sons. At the life he had earned not with money, but with character. He whispered a silent prayer, thank you, God, for the lunchbox that fell. It hurt, but it saved me from a lifetime of pain. The car drove on, into the sun, leaving the shadows far, far behind.